again for the gambling group chat, where I believe we have a very salty Will Hill in addition to a very salty Bear after seeing our Brock Purdy MVP futures go up in smoke on Monday night. So sometimes you make a great bet, Will. Sometimes you get a great number, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. So we'd make the same bets all over again. I do imagine it was just one of those nights. Like four picks, maybe a couple were on his fault, but nobody cares about that. Now Lamar Jackson around minus 170 or so is your favorite. McCaffrey 4-1, Tua 10-1, Purdy 12-1, Josh Allen 13-1. Those are the current numbers I see at DraftKings for MVP. So, Will, is there a bet still to be made in this market, or is it kind of fait accompli that Lamar is going to win?
I usually look forward to these podcasts. I forgot what we were talking about. I forgot we had to talk about Purdy. It was really in rough shape because I bet it 22-1 in week 3. Monday was rough. Tuesday morning waking up was rough. I finally started to get over it. Now we got reopened the wound here. I don't know that there's a bet. I think the lesson going forward is, man, nothing really matters until late. So look for guys with longer odds, middle of the season, late surgers, that kind of thing. Could it flip again? I feel like if Lamar's in the same position Purdy was in last week, or as long as he plays well and they win, it's going to be Lamar. But I don't know, could Tua steal it if they beat Buffalo, beat Baltimore, and they're the 1 seed? Could Tua steal it? Could McCaffrey steal it if all the quarterbacks don't play well and it goes to somebody else? Could Allen come out of nowhere? To be honest, to answer your question, I don't see a great bet. I don't want to lay a minus 170. I'm still salty. Look, my Purdy's going to die a painful death. I don't know, Sammy, is there anything? Let's just say you had no bets. Hey, I want to bet the MVP. Is there anything right now you jump in on?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, I had Tyreek at a very, very good number, and that went to hell when he rolled his ankle, and he's not going to win the MVP now, even though I still think he's more valuable than Tua. I was looking at the list of total touchdowns, and I know we often fall for touchdowns instead of yards because Lamar doesn't have a lot of touchdowns compared to the most guys. Lamar's 24 total touchdowns. Josh Allen has 40 touchdowns this year, passing and
Crazy.
rushing. I mean, to me, that's like the most unknown stat of the year. Like if I were to ask 10 people who leads the NFL in touchdowns right now, I don't know that more than one would say Josh Allen. He's got 40, Hurts has 35, Prescott has 32, Purdy has 31. So from a touchdown standpoint, Josh Allen is probably in the mix, but I think we also have to knock Josh Allen for losses against the Patriots and losses against the Broncos and stuff like that. I'm kicking myself because last week we were talking about San Francisco, Baltimore, and our team clipped it off and posted it. And I said, I think I'd rather bet Lamar 5-1 MVP than Ravens money line. And of course I didn't do it. And because I bought into the Purdy thing. Like I did. I thought Niners were going to win that game. It all lined up for this, Mr. Irrelevant to be drafted in 22 and win the MVP in 23. Like it was all there for him.
Yep.
And this guy laid a freaking egg. He turned into a damn pumpkin on Christmas. And that it sucks. You guys made great bets, but that's the problem with gambling. You can make the right bet. You can get a fantastic number, and guys or teams just don't deliver. I think you would make that bet all over again. I don't want to speak for you guys, but I mean, to bet Brock Purdy at 22-1 when he gets to minus 200 on Christmas is the right bet. It's the wrong result, but it's the right bet.
Yeah, and Bear, we had the hedge there too to take the 6.5 with Baltimore. I mean, if you're sitting there with 22-1, you figure you just take Baltimore plus 6.5. Maybe you can hit them both. I don't know. I put a little on Baltimore. We talked about last week. You were here, Bear. We talked a little bit last week that was a clean hedge because as long as Purdy won that game, or as long as Purdy won that game, he's probably going to win the MVP. So I don't know, Bear, if you did anything with it, but that was at least a little bit of
very,
hedge.
Very little. I didn't do enough. I'm just kind of sitting there and just dozing out and out throughout the day, and just because I had a McCaffrey ticket as well from like way before the year, as well at like a Tyreek type number. So like as long as the 49ers would have won, I would have been okay. But yeah, I did not bet enough on the Ravens plus the points there. The Josh Allen thing really does interest me because all throughout the year, like he's the one guy that like people keep mentioning, Josh Allen. And you're right, Sam. Everybody talks about all the turnovers that he's committed this year, and I just don't know. Do you think if they were to, if they win out, like could he get it? Like if the Dolphins lose to the Ravens and the Bills went out and they win the division, like could he get it? I don't know. That's a tough call, Geoff. Don't you think?
Well, he could certainly win the award because we're absent this year of a surefire MVP. It's like that. In most years, you're like, you get to week 17, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady. Like, it's very simple. This year, it's not. And it could change, by the way, after this weekend. If Tua goes into Baltimore and he plays well, he might be the MVP favorite, right? If Tyreek Hill is about 360 yards away from 2,000. If he manages to do that against Baltimore and Buffalo in 2 weeks, he'll win the MVP. Look, McCaffrey to me, I know he's number 2 right now in odds. I don't see him as like the MVP. Quite honestly, I don't watch them play and think like, oh, I'm watching the MVP play right now. But obviously, the Niners are the 1 seed in that conference, and Baltimore and Miami stumble, and Buffalo stumbles, and maybe Christian McCaffrey's MVP. At this point, I feel like you have your wagers and you just sit tight because we don't know what's going to happen. Because each week it fluctuates mid-game, guys. You see the tweets about it. Mid-game, Lamar and Brock are just flipping in the odds. So that's why I think right now, if you have wagers, you just sit tight and you hope it works out for the best. If you have anything, don't have anything, just sit. I would not play anything because you don't know what's going to happen each and every. If Dak Prescott, let's say the Cowboys finished with the 1 seed, not the 1 seed, but finished winning the NFC East, are we sure Dak Prescott is out of the conversation totally if he puts up 800 yards in the next 2 weeks? I don't think so. So I think all these guys are still in it because there's so much unknown how the season's going to end.
Bear Bets full episodes drop twice a week right here on the Bear Bets YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe to stay ahead of the odds, and let's celebrate all of our wins together.